we have a narrow path to avoid the worst outcome. I think actually we can have really a great outcome in this country, but the key message I'd like to get out is to succeed in this case, we will need institutional mobilization. And to achieve that, we'll need far more bipartisan leadership. And I know it's hard to say in a period of very intense polarization, but we need far more agreement on what needs to be done, for example, in areas like nuclear energy, permitting reform, the electricity markets redesigned to make them more effective, bringing back a lot more of on-site generation to avoid transmission lines, and of course still building a very large network of transmission that will cost a lot of money. It will also require a lot of bipartisanship, not only at the federal level, but at the state level, county level, and even localities. Electricity, because of accidents of history, it's actually run mostly through municipalities and counties and the states more than the federal level. And that's part of the reason why our system is so fragmented and hard to move in some sense. I'm mildly encouraged right now. There's some areas where I think we've seen a lot of progress. So for example, I saw some bipartisan progress in the area of nuclear energy. Some states that were really completely closed to nuclear energy in the past, like New York and California, are changing their tunes. The federal government also is becoming a much bigger supporter of nuclear energy. Not only the current Trump administration, but it started at the end of the Biden administration as well. And so I think it's a very positive development for a carbon-free baseload source of electricity we had neglected for far too long, given its benefits. And the other thing is, I would say I've seen some bipartisan efforts in the area of reforming permitting. Permitting has been a plague in this country for the past 50 years. It takes now probably 10, 15, 20 years to build a major transmission lines versus 3 to 5 years in the 1950s. So we need to get back more to how we used to be able to do things quicker. And then to their credit, I see both parties, at least many members of both parties, are working to bring about significant permitting reform. There's a big effort in Congress right now called the SPEED Act that should bring us part of the way to where we need to go. So I see some progress. I think we need to see also more bipartisanship also in some areas, and I think one of the areas that created the biggest contentious point between the parties has been the role of fossil fuels. I think the role of natural gas, and particularly, need a big dialogue between Republicans and Democrats. I think we need a bipartisan energy policy on the use of natural gas for the rest of the century. In my view, it's a very important resource to balance renewable and bring us to the transition. But some groups want to, I think, get rid of it prematurely when we're not ready to really abandon natural gas. So I think I'd like to see more bipartisanship. So if we can see an agreement on natural gas, nuclear, and reform permitting, I think we have kind of the elements of a solution there to get through these difficult years we're going to get through.